Good morning, conference. I'm not that teacherish, am I? Okay, so this is a sponsored talk, and I'm taking up the space that was created for the Python Software Foundation, who are one of the sponsors of this conference. And so I've taken this opportunity to do my annual Nicholas is banging on about education bit again that I do every year. So I wanted to bring to your attention the education track that we have. And I'm going to be joined on stage soon by Carrie Ann, who has been organizing it. And if I can get my slides to work. Yes, they work. There are two parts to the education track. The first part is the Teachers' Day, which is today, and the second part is the Kids' Day, which is tomorrow, Saturday. I want to explain what each one of those means and how you can help us with that. Part one, obviously, is for teachers, happening today. I used to be a teacher, as you all responded to me in that teachery sort of a way. Teaching is the one profession that creates all the other professions. Teaching is a calling. You're certainly not doing it for the money or the perks or the long holidays, these mythical long holidays. And teaching is the hardest job I've ever had to do. Huge order of magnitude more difficult than my work as a professional developer that I do now. And so this morning we have about 45 teachers, so a significant minority of the conference attendees are going to be over in the Ferrier room and another room, Room C, I'm being told, and we're going to do lots of workshops together. The important thing is that this isn't just a ghetto for teachers and we let them arrive and they do teachery things and then they go away. We want to welcome them to our community, and that means we need the community to come along to the education track. So please do come along today and have a look, see what the teachers are up to. Introduce yourself, perhaps help them out with some of the problems that they might be having in the workshops that they're doing. We have an introduction to Python. We have games programming with Pygame 0 and all sorts of other interesting stuff as well going on. So just come along and have a look and get involved. This is an opportunity for you to not just come and soak up Pycon UK, it's an opportunity for you to give back to Pycon UK in a very valuable way. This afternoon, we have actually something called Adopt a Teacher, or is it Adopt a Developer? I don't know. It depends who you're talking to. I think if I'm talking to developers, it's Adopt a Teacher. Isn't that right, Carrie Ann? Yes, okay. And so please turn up. We need developers to turn up for that. There's going to be networking, debates, and so on and so forth, and something called a Teach Meet, which is a bit like a dojo, but for teachers and developers. And it's a lot of fun, and a lot of wonderful things have come out of that as well. So please, developers are welcome at the education track. Part two, which is happening tomorrow, is the Kids' Day, which is my absolute favorite part of Pycon UK. If you've never been to the Kids' Day or have been too frightened to poke your head around the door in previous years, this is sort of what to expect. I love this sequence of photos. This was taken 2 or 3 years ago. That's William and Amelia, and they are using a Raspberry Pi and Python to program Minecraft, which sort of ticks off all the children's what's cool boxes. And I think they're trying to make a bridge or something out of Python. And they're going to make it run. Does it work? No, it doesn't. And Big Brother has arrived, and you've got some pair programming here now. And so what's he doing? He spotted the problem. It said syntax error. There was something going on here. So over the shoulder, pointing it out, they fix it. They get it to run. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Ooh, it's starting up. Hey, yes, the code's working. Someone's happy about it. Anyway, we've all experienced that as developers. The tests eventually go green, or that wonderful feature that you've been working on finally gets deployed. And these kids experienced that for the first time at the education track a couple of years ago. Tomorrow we have 50 or 60 kids turning up here. We have some amazing activities. for them to get involved in. The important thing is that we need developers to come along as well and to act as mentors and helpers and to be friendly, because these kids are, well, they are our future colleagues, and they are the future of the Python community. And the effort that we invest in them today will reap benefits in 10, 15, 20 years' time. I would still love to go along to a Pycon when I'm old and grey and a bit grumpy and things. So, Carrie Ann, do you want to come up and I just want Carrie Ann to come up on the stage, really. You'll see why in a second. This is a picture of the Teachers' Day on the very, very first education track that we ran. And if you notice, Carrie Ann came along, and you'd been using the Raspberry Pi, what, 3 months, 4 months, something like that? Okay, so
no Python.
No Python. No Python.
Python.
And I gave you a Python lesson, didn't I? I felt very awkward because I hadn't actually been teaching. It'd been something like 8 years since I'd last actually taught a class, and so I gave a teaching. I taught a little Python class for the teachers, and this is the 5th or 6th time that we've run this, and each year it's grown and grown and grown. And I just wanted to mention Carrie Ann because right there she would be what we would term a newbie and maybe kind of a bit stunned, rabbit in the headlights sort of look on her face. But now Carrie Ann is a director of the Python Software Foundation. Carrie Ann has created and runs the Geek Girl Diaries, which is all about diversity and encouraging underrepresented groups into our community. Carrie Ann was invited to join the Raspberry Pi Foundation as their education pioneer and is now the director of education there. The Raspberry Pi is probably the most successful computing education project in history. You wouldn't believe the amount of effort that Carrie Ann has put into this community and the rewards that we collectively will get back from the incredible effort that Carrie Ann has put in. But the best bit about this photo, and she can see what the next slide is, the best bit about this effort is that on that year, the keynote speaker was Alex Bradbury, who was a software developer at the Raspberry Pi Foundation, and obviously there was something in the air because their eyes met, and Alex sort of winked or something like that. And last weekend it was my intense pleasure to attend their wedding, and I'd just like to point out the wellies. Congratulations, Carrie Ann. No, in a minute. How do you find the education track? Just follow the noise, okay? Finally, you can't have failed to notice, because it's been all over the BBC and all over the place, the Microbit project that between 80 and 100 UK-based Pythonistas have been involved in. I wanted to say thank you very much for your effort with this project. It's been rather interesting in that Chinese sort of a difficult way. But we got there. We have MicroPython running on the Microbit. 1 million of these devices have been delivered to the UK's 11 and 12-year-olds. And hopefully this will inspire, yet again, a new generation into programming and becoming part of our community and learning a little bit about Python. This is obviously a Microbit. People seem to like the Microbit. There's this Guido bloke who works for Dropbox who seems to appreciate it a little bit. Actually, this morning break, we pulled a few strings at the BBC, so we must thank the BBC for this. In the reception area downstairs, we have 300 Microbits that we would like to give away to attendees at Pycon UK. This is a first-come, first-served problem because there are about 550 of you, okay? I'm going to be on that desk, so you will have a hole punch. We're going really high-tech here, and you have to punch your card with the hole punch, and if I see that there is a hole in your card, I will give you a Microbit until I get to the very last one, and then I'm afraid we're out, okay? So if you would like a Microbit, and they are remarkable devices, please come downstairs and collect one during the morning break. If you're wondering what on earth do I do with a Microbit, pyconuk.org, the website, /microbit, that has a whole bunch of instructions where you download the runtime and the editor and all the other tools that you need. Where are the tutorials? Where's the documentation? That's it. And I think I'm pretty much on time. You need to make an announcement about the education track. Okay, Carrie Ann. We have about 2 minutes.
Yep, 2 minutes. Okay, if you get a microbit, the rules are you must use it for good, not evil, and therefore join the education track, help some teachers, help us with Mu, which is the editor that we're building so children can learn Python. You know, with great, what is it, responsibly comes... whatever. Something deep and meaningful. The other thing is there is a mailing list for if you're interested in education and Python. Please join that mailing list. It's where we talk about these projects, and that's just growing. We have more and more educational projects starting. If you want to volunteer at a code club, we have 4,000 code clubs in the UK, and I think it's about 1,000 of those don't have a volunteer to run the code club. So you're all amazing developers. You can go into a school. We give you the curriculum, give you all the materials. We'll send you to a school near you. For an hour a week, you can help children learn how to code. Come to the education track at some point. We would really like, this afternoon we're having like educational sprints. We can't do those without developers, so please come along and be part of that. And I wouldn't be, Nick rattled off a whole bunch of stuff that I've achieved since coming to Pycon a few years ago. That wouldn't be possible without all of you. So really it's your thing, not mine. Thank you.
That's it, folks.